and gentlemen, to European Race Night Division 2 here today, round 20 now here in Mexico. I'm Dame Zero, your lead and only commentator on for today, unfortunately. So you've got to just hear me talk and talk and talk. So good luck to you all out there. But we are here in Mexico. We had a fantastic Division 1 race yesterday here, and it was honestly unbelievable to see. However, Division 2, we know, is one of the tightest divisions we have currently in ERN, as we've got two cars out there of the new guy of OTRL Gasly, new and first race here for him today, along with his teammate Breezy out there. They are the first two people out on track, and maybe, I'm just looking at them, considering their teammates, they may have already had a couple of conversations out there. Maybe it's a bit of a slipstream down the back straight. I don't think we saw, or should I say down the main straight, I don't think we saw any slipstreams being given yesterday for Division 1. So I'm not 100% too sure on that, but it could be a good idea for somebody to do. It could be a very good idea indeed. A big gain can happen there from getting the slipstream. But Breezy is the first one out on track, followed by Gasly. This is also very crucial today for the championship. Ireland, if he wins this, he creates such a big gap to Skeefy now that it could be almost impossible to challenge him as Darko Wade retires from the session. I believe that is a qualifying ban for Darko Wade. But here goes Breezy, about to start his, well, has started his first flying lap. Let's see how he's going to do as we head towards turn 1 after the long straight. And does he get that nicely? Yes, he does. Very easy to invalidate here. Gets the exit and charges now towards turn 4 with DRS enabled. Let's see how he gets it. Will get purple sector 1, of course, because he is the first man out on track. Takes turn 4 quite nicely, and into turn 5. Got to get the car nice and settled and try and be careful on the exit with that curb on the left hand side of the track. Gets it through the double right hander very nicely indeed. As we head towards the S's, takes the S's in 5th and then up to 6th, up to 7th. Can he take it flat? We will see. Does he go through? Oh, he does lift quite a bit there, does Breezy. But as we head now towards the stadium section, he's not invalidated so far, but we've got to remember this is his banker lap probably. Just wants to get this in before he can really start pushing into the hairpin. Can he get the exit? It's very difficult to get the power down coming out of the stadium section. Coming round now, the final corner, heading towards the line. Breezy, what's he going to set? He sets a 1:14.6 for his first bank lap. What does his teammate Gasly do? In comparison, he's invalidated his attempt, so that's a shame. There's Storm now with a 14.3, and now there's a racing point about to cross the line. I think that is going to be of Anthem or Chelsea in the racing point. I think they just started their laps. It was Anthem by the looks of it, maybe invalidated on the last attempt. NRC Island goes top now with a 14.2. T-Bag with a 15.2. Christoph now with a 14.9. Times are now coming in. Eke Blower puts in the time there in 5th with a 15 dead. Where is Skeefy currently? Skeefy is currently in the stadium section. What has he got to challenge now with NRC Island into the final corner? Let's see where he's going to put it here. D6W is putting a 15.3 in 7th. Here comes Skeefy, goes 3rd with a 14.5 with his first banker lap. There's another car out there of the McLaren down in the stadium section. That is the NRC Arts. Let's see where he's going to put it. Currently an 18th knots at a time. He puts it 3rd with a 14.4, splitting the two Haas boys up here. So that is looking very, very nice there for NRC Arts on his first run. And I think that is all the times though. Here goes Patrice, in fact, round the final corner. Let's see where the Alpha Tower is going to put it here today. He goes 8th currently with a 15.1. There's another racing point down there by the looks of it, and I think is that Anthem. It is Anthem. Anthem's about to cross the line. Anthem puts it 6th with a 14.8. And I think now it's mainly just in laps. I don't see another car on a fast lap unless Ramos is, and I think Ramos is. Chelsea's invalidated. So Ramos is currently the only man out there on track who is on a flying lap. Liam, I've just noticed in the Williams, is looking to opt for the medium compound tyres. Maybe a bit of alternate strategy there from the Williams driver. Ramos comes across the line, puts it P4 with a 14.5. So a very nice bank lap there for Ramos in the Renault. So we've had some very, very interesting times. We've got Gasly on another outlap. We've got Nicki Minaj on an outlap in the Mercedes and the Red Bull. Chelsea's out there once again, maybe going for another lap, but doesn't look like has the ERS there to do another full lap. So I'm not 100% too sure about that, but there are a couple of drivers now going out for their other laps. Some people are on their in-laps. Anthem's invalidated his in-lap, so that's not too much of a worry for him. Let's just have a quick look here. Gasly is about to start his flying lap now in the Mercedes. Like we say, his first race here in European Race Night Division 2. Let's see how he's going to do now in the Mercedes. Just jumped in it literally half an hour ago. He knew that he was racing here today. So let's see how he does. He heads in there, gets it down into third, gets the car rotated, a bit of understeer there, and a bit of oversteer also through the S's. Maybe the setup not quite working for him at the minute. Not enabled DRS, interestingly enough. He might have done on his screen, but on my screen he did not enable DRS, which is interesting to see from Gasly. Maybe just a little bit of a mistake. Nicki Minaj is getting a bit of slipstream there of the McLaren, maybe trying to take advantage of the McLaren on the outlap. Gasly has now invalidated his attempt. Nicki Minaj now heading into the double right-hander. Let's see how he goes with this. Gets it up into third, tries to get the acceleration out of that corner nicely and into the S's. Let's see where he goes for this. Keeps it in sixth, doesn't change down to fifth. Very close to an invalidation there. That's quite surprising. Doesn't keep his foot pin, doesn't lift off there quite a little bit. Some people are going to lift, or some people going to keep their foot pinned. It can vary on the setup. But let's see how Nicky does it now. Heading out of the stadium section. Let's see how he gets out of the final corner and see where he puts it on the board. Storming towards line. Nicky goes fifth with a 14.5. A lot of 14.5s there between Ramos, Nicky and Skeefy for the final run. So Division 2 proving it's a close grid once again. There's a Haas down there. I think a Storm about to start his flying lap 2. There's another Red Bull down there. I think that is on Mike. He's going on a flying lap. Maybe just invalidated there on the exit of the S's. Nash is just on the exit of the S's. Let's see where he's going to put it. Currently 15th. Not a time set yet. But let's see where he can do it if he does not invalidate his attempts as he goes towards the hairpin. Let's see. Not many drivers change down to first gear for the hairpin, which is interesting to see. The cars are seemingly rotating fine. In second as Nash, a little bit of an oversteer trying to correct the car to go in the straight line and goes 9th with a 14.9. AlphaTauri Matri is just starting his flying lap. That's Gasly down there on his in lap. T-Bag's just left the pits. That means it's NRC Island down there. There's a bit of Nash and Anthem tripping over themselves a little bit there. T-Bag and Ireland on outlaps. Nicky's on an in-lap coming in. McLaren of Arns. No, it isn't. It'll be of Christoph, and Christoph is on a flying lap who has invalidated and backs out of that attempt. Eke Blova has also backed out of that attempt too. Chelsea is about to start a flying lap down there. There's the Haas now of ERN Storm who's invalidated his attempt too. So a lot of invalidations are catching some people out. Aren't about to start his flying lap. I think that's another AlphaTauri about to come across the line. But I think that's the tree. He's also starting his flying lap. So a lot of people are invalidating at this moment in time. Mike there just invalidating his attempt too. Chelsea has just started her lap. So let's see how she gets on later on in the lap. I think that's Ramos who's about to start his flying lap too. There's a spin there of the Racing Point, I think, of Anthem, who's had a little bit of a moment there in the stadium section, which is interesting to see. Whereas Arns is down in Sector 2 now. NRC Island has invalidated his attempt too. So a lot of invalidations happening here. Ramos has just started his flying lap. T-Bag is currently on a flyer. Is he invalidated? He's just started it. In fact, I'm looking at NRC Island, which was the wrong Ferrari, so bear with me on that one. Gasly's ran out of ERS and I think is in low fuel mode, just limping back as much as he can. I think Chelsea's now in the stadium section, and she is. Let's see how she gets on with this lap. Not set a time yet, of course, down there in 18th place. Let's see what the Racing Point does. The Racing Point does a 15.4 there and puts her into 16th place. Well, here comes Arns currently in third. Does he improve? Does improve, but only very slightly there. Ramos now coming into the S's. Let's see what Ramos is able to do. Currently in 4th with a 14.5. It'll be interesting to see, can he improve and maybe jump up some places so far. Where's Skeefy? Skeefy's just down the main straight, so we'll come back to him later on. Is Anthem in front? Yes, he is. Anthem. Let's see where Anthem is going to put it. He is currently in 8th with a 14.8. Let's see, can he improve? Can he get higher? Yes, he does. He goes on provisional pole with a 13.8. That's an unbelievable lap. Ramos goes 4th with a 14.3 there. So 2 very nice laps there. Anthem being one of them and Ramos being the other. So really nice laps there from the pair of them. Let's just have a quick look. Christoph is on a lap. Currently, Chelsea's on an in-lap down there in the stadium section. Is the D6W, is he on a flyer? I think by the looks of it, is on a out-lap, maybe an in-lap 2. Not 100% sure on that one as of yet. Skeefy in the stadium section now. Let's see where he's going to put it. He really needs to challenge NRC Island for the championship, maybe the second row of the grid. It's the perfect place to be for the slipstream down to turn 1. Let's see where he's looking to aim for. Here comes Skeefy. Can he improve? He goes 2nd with a 13.9. So 2 drivers now heading into the 13. So this is really going to spice this up now. Coming down to the final laps. Christoph currently in the S's. A lot of people on in laps by the looks of it. Mike's just started his lap. They're all coming in on their in laps now, getting ready for their final runs. The McLaren of Christoph heading towards the hairpin. Let's see how he can handle with this tricky section of track here. Now into the final corner. Can he get the exit that he needs to try and take some places away and getting further up the grid? He goes 3rd with a 14.1, so gains 10 places there. So very interesting to see. Storm currently out there on a lap. Island is out there on a lap 2. Eke Balova is also just started a lap. Matriz is also in sector 2. Sinclair's just started, and Mike will be the first one by the looks of it to come across the line out of all that little train. Mike not set a time yet. Skeefy just getting all the way there to the right as he heads towards the stadium section now. 4th gear he decides to choose, gets the exit as much as he can, careful not to invalidate it there, into the hairpin, gets the car turned around, and Nash in fact has retired by the looks of it in the S's. Let's see, there we go, he's there to the right hand side and he has retired in the S's. So Nash falling victim to the S's, and we have our first crash of the evening. Who were we on then? I think, nope, it was Mike who put himself into 14th with a 15 dead. Eke Blow was about to come around the final corner now. Currently in 13th, moves up into 11th. So a nice lap there from himself. NRC Island has invalidated his run that he is currently on. So that's a big shame there for him. Anybody else currently on a flying lap? Gasly has just started. Sinclair is currently in the final corner on the medium compound tyres, sticking to his alternate strategy by the looks of it, and he puts himself in the same place at 18th with a 15.5. So the mediums not seeming to like this track. Chelsea just starts her flying lap. Mike's on an in lap currently. Everybody just waiting now to get their laps and their final runs underway. I think there's only one car out there currently on track, and that's Gasly, who is on a flying lap. Gasly is down in 15.3 with a 15.3, down in 15th. So let's see how he copes with the S's in the Mercedes. Takes 7th. Oh, bit of understeer, slams on the brakes, not trying to lose control too much, and of course aborts that lap time as Eke over on his in lap decides he just strolls past him there a little bit. Chelsea now into the S's. Let's see where she's going to put it here. She's currently down in 17th with a 15.4. Going through the S's now, lifts a little bit, doesn't get too wide, trying not to invalidate it as much as she can with a 15.4 now in 17th place. Can she improve as we head towards the stadium section into the tight hairpin? Can she get the car turned around? Keeps it in 3rd to try and get as much exit as she possibly can into the final corner, down to 2nd and then up into 3rd to get the exit. Where does she put it? Currently in 17th, moves up into 9th with a 14.6. So a nice lap there from herself. T-Bag is about to start a flying lap too, and I don't think there is any other flying laps currently on the grid. D6W has just started his. This is, I think, where everybody now is starting to come out on their outlaps and get us some feisty and saucy lap times coming in. Definitely so. The D6, by the looks of it, with Teabag, the only two who decided to go out early. Maybe a precaution in case they do invalidate their attempts. But a lot of people now going out for those final runs. Anthem about to start his lap time. Skeefy down in Sector 1. Island also down in Sector 1 too. So we've definitely got a showdown now for pole. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But let's just have a quick look on board with D6W. He's just left the S's. Hasn't invalidated yet in the AlphaTauri. Heading towards the stadium section. Let's see how he is able to do it here. Can he handle it well? Big lock up there on the front left. Tries to get the exit as much as he can. Doesn't upshift to get the traction by the looks of it. Wants to feel comfortable in second. Can he get the exit? Gets the exit that he wants. Gets into 11th with a 14.6. Teabag about to come around the final corner too. Not invalidated his attempt. Let's see where he puts it. He goes 12th with a 14.7. The AlphaTauri just starting a hot lap. It's about to start one, sorry. Nicky is just started his run. The Ferrari Island's about to start his run too. By the looks of it, that is Anthem storming down just under a 10th and invalidates, in fact, on the exit there. That could gift it for a Skeefy pole here. He really has to hold that lap time is good enough. That 10th gap that he has there. Ramos is currently, I think, has backed out of his lap and is going for another one. In fact, Nicky's there and just trying to find who's going to be next across the line. Mike's further down. Breezy's invalidated. Nicky's in the S's. Oh, we'll stay on board with Skeefy because this is going to be crucial. Takes the S's very nicely. A bit wide. Doesn't invalidate. Surprisingly enough, as we now head towards the stadium section, and he is down a 10th of a second there. Maybe not what he wants here. Anthem could keep pole position here and invalidates on that attempt. Skeefy will not be moving and stays on the front row of the grid. What can NRC Island do in response? The championship rival to Skeefy now heading into the hairpin. Can he get the exit that he needs and keeps it nice and straight into the final corner? Up to 4 to get his traction out. Let's see what he's going to set. 14.2 at the minute, and he sets a 13.8 and takes it by 5 thousandths of a second from Anthem and takes pole position here today. Can Christoph with a 14.1 challenge anything on that? I'm not too sure he can, but let's see if he can. Currently into the hairpin section. Gets the exit out of there. Does he get a good enough one though? I'm not 100% sure. But let's see where he puts it. Can he improve from P5? He crosses the line and stays P5. Attempts slower on that run. Arndt's about to come across the line. Let's see where he puts it currently in 8th. Can Arndt's improve? He goes 7th with a 14.3. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, that is our qualifying wrapped up. And that is NRC Arndt's on pole position by 5 thousandths of a second from Anthem in 2nd. Skeefy in 3rd. Ramos in 4th. Christoph 5th. Storm down in 6th. Arndt's is in 7th. Sinclair Liam is in 8th. And Eke Boba and Nicki Minaj round up the top 10. A fantastic qualifying there. A really close qualifying there with the top 10 of the grid indeed. It was very interesting. Look how close that is between Anthem and NRC Island. Even Skeefy, less than a 10th separate the top 3 here today. Them three are definitely in a league of their own, and it's going to be interesting to see how this race is going to go. But to finish outside the top 10 is Chelsea, Breezy, D6W, Teabag, Matriz, Mike, Nash, Gasly, and Darko Wade, who had a qualifying ban as far as I know, so that's why he didn't set a time. Big G saying what a lap by Island. It was an insane lap by Island. Looking at how close that top 3 is, this race is going to be very, very interesting indeed. And I cannot wait to see how this goes. We just have a quick 5-minute break between the race and qualifying. So we shall see what is going to happen in 5 minutes. Get the formation lap underway. But one thing I definitely want to talk about currently at this moment in time is, one, my predictions for this race. That qualifying has really set out what those three are going to be like in this race. If they are going to stay the exact same way that they are, a cut above the rest so far, I think it was by nearly 0.2 of a second to fourth compared to what they were, within a tenth of each other. So if that is something to go for, I think that is highly likely what the podium places are going to be, depending on incidents, etc. So I think Skeefy is going to take this one. Either Skeefy or Island will take P1, because I think Anthem will get too many penalties. But Skeefy or Island will definitely take P1. I think Anthem will be P3, and it'll be either Island or Skeefy for first and second. But I'm just quickly looking at the standings now. NRC Island, who is currently top of the table, he is on 287 points in first, with Skeefy in second with 270 points. So 17-point gap is the difference between Island and Skeefy. Skeefy really needs to take the fight to NRC Island today, and maybe try and put a bit of a charge on for the last 3 races. We got Mexico, we got Brazil, and we have Abu Dhabi to seal us off. D6W and Christoph in 5th and 6th. Them two are on identical points of 105 points each. So them two will be looking to try and get as many points as they can to stay ahead of one another. But a very, very interesting race we have ahead of us. Island really needs to win this, so does Skeefy. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this is going to go today. But it's one of them, as we saw, Division 2 always puts on a show, no matter what track it is. If it's Monaco, if it's Singapore, Baku, Spain, any track, you name it, Division 2 puts on a show. So it'll be interesting to see how they do here in Mexico. Qualifying says one thing, but it's how you do it in the race. And if they get stuck on strategies, then it will be interesting to see what the shake-up will be with this grid order. Because we know what it's like in Mexico. We saw it yesterday in Division 1, that we saw many options in strategies. However, not a lot of people decided to go with the hard compound tyre. I think one person went with the hard compound tyre yesterday on lap 2, and it didn't really go well, if I remember correctly. So we're looking at a 2-stop highly likely, but are people going to go for the soft, medium, soft, so the quicker at the end, or medium, soft for the outside of the top 10? It could be a very interesting race that we are going to have here today. But looking outside of the top 10 at the minute, I just see Storm there saying that he was disappointed in his qualifying there. Storm, we know the race is everything. It's where it counts on the day, Storm. You just need to go in there and get your groove on and get battling. What did Gasly get a seat then? Not too sure there, Mr. Speedy. But Gasly is a new driver. He's currently a reserve in Division 2. As we're about to get this session underway. 25 seconds until we get the formation lap underway, and then get lights out so we can get to see this race in all of its glory. I hope it is going to be a good one. The run down to turn 1 is going to be crucial. And with Island and Anthem on pole position, it's going to be very, very interesting. Island and Anthem on that front row. Island on pole and Anthem in second. Because they've got Skeefy and they've also got Ramos sat behind in third and fourth, wanting to take advantage of that slipstream as much as they possibly can. So let's just have a look outside the top 10. So Chelsea, Breezy, D6W and Gasly and Darko both decide to go for the medium compound tyre. So it'll be very interesting to see how this is going to develop with the alternate strategies and who's going to try and get what. But one thing I am interested to see is Liam, after trying to go on the mediums, did try a soft run and got himself into 8th position. Nicky's down there rounding up the top 10. But it's going to be very interesting to see how close this is going to be between Island, Anthem and Skeefy. Ramos could have a look if he manages to keep with the DRS and maybe try and stay in that DRS train that Mexico develops. Could pounce on any mistakes those three could possibly do. But as we saw yesterday with people like Keneal in Division 1 getting disqualified with penalties, this is going to be a very, very big race penalties wise, and if you keep it clean and only get minimal amount of penalties, maybe just one or even none at all, you could be sat very, very nicely, especially if there's a late safety car. I mean, we didn't see a safety car yesterday in Division 1, but could we see one here today in Division 2? That run down towards turn 1 is going to be very crucial with that little chicane at the end of the main straight. Well, here we go. Island is coming round the final corner to prepare to go take us to the grid. I think Skeefy really needs to win this. Island really needs to win this to bridge that gap over Skeefy in the championship. Skeefy needs it to close the gap as much as he possibly can to take it into the final 2 races. It's everything to play for here today, and we're here for European Race Night Division 2 here in Mexico, and it's going to be brilliant. Last of the drivers now are coming up. Gasly and Darko Wade just lining up at the back of the grid. The drivers take their place. What must you be thinking now, being NRC Island on that front row? You've got to defend from Skeefy at all costs. But we're about to find out what they do because, well, we don't have any lights, in fact. The game has not decided to give us lights. There we go. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. We are ready to go racing, and it's lights out. And away we go. Let's see what the launch was like. Island got a decent enough start. Skeefy's already in the slipstream with overtake enabled. He's already got Anthem. Let's see what he's going to be able to do here against NRC Island. Can he make a move? No, he doesn't. Anthem goes for the inside, nearly makes contact with NRC Island looking further down the grid. The McLarens then to a dueling of Arndt, and Christoph Arndt has fallen down to 7th position. Liam now, they're all over the back of each other. Anthem is trying to make a move on NRC Island. Let's see how this is going to go. Anthem goes round the inside, then has the inside line. Island fights it around the outside into the double right-hander. A lock up there from Anthem. Island is continuing to fight this, and Skeefy's in the slipstream looking tasty, seeing this battle happen. Let's see what's going to happen here. This is only the first lap. I cannot wait for the next couple of laps to go. Looking further down is Mike in 14th as they all head through the S's now. T-Bag has got an exit now on Breezy. Is he going to look to send it down the inside into the stadium? No, he doesn't decide to do that there as Christoph ran a bit wide there by the looks of it. And ERN Storm has taken advantage of that and moves into 5th place. Breezy and T-Bag, them two have just moved a couple of positions. Breezy moving up and getting past T-Bag. And NRC Island has had a moment. And NRC Island has fell now down to 7th. No, in fact, he's disconnected. Never mind me. Just this game liking to ruin what I need to do. Let's have a quick look on board with Ramos. Ramos sat in 3rd position. He's looking very nice at the minute. I'm just going to let the timings sort themselves out. Nicki Minaj is the first person to pick up a time penalty here today in Mexico. So that could play dividend late on, especially being so early on in the race. Let's have a quick look here. Island, yes, he is in his car and we're all okay. So let's just have a look. Is there any battles further down? Now the timings have now fixed themselves. We're already seeing blue flags out there. So Cold Masters' his game, as always, is always broke. Let's see. Chelsea now picks up another, her first 3-second time penalty of the evening down in 12th. Gone from the medium compound, so maybe those tyres just aren't settling in yet. But Skeefy in 3rd. Anthem has also pulled out a 2nd gap currently to NRC Island, so that could be a crucial 2nd gap there coming into now. DRS being enabled. I mean, there won't be an active for this lap, but it will be active for the next one. So if you can pull that 1 second, that could be crucial. But now going back to St. Liam. St. Liam in the Williams is maybe trying to look to make a move on Christoph. Christoph cuts across and says you're not going to try and send that round the outside, and doesn't go for it. But Matrice and Eke Belova, these two are side by side now heading into turn 1. Matrice goes down the inside and gets that move done and gets ahead of Eke Belova. T-Bag looking to maybe try and get an exit on Breezy, but just isn't close enough by the looks of it to make a move. Just those exits Breezy just seems to be getting the better of. But Skeefy has now dropped back 1.2 seconds now from NRC Island, and Ramos is really just trying to stay within the second. So the top three spreading out a little bit, which is something I don't think we were expecting, or is some people just trying to play the long game and not think about the first couple of laps. As here comes Mike in 13th, Chelsea running a bit wide. Chelsea puts up another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. T-Bag has also picked up a 3-second time penalty, so it'll be interesting to see once again how penalties are going to affect this race and how crucial they're going to be. St. Liam now picks up a 3-second time penalty, so they are currently rolling in, as Island now has DRS on Anthem. So does Ramos on Skeefy, but Ramos has no ERS whatsoever. St. Liam is looking to make his move on Christoph. The other McLaren of NRC Arts is looking interested into this. Christoph hanging it around the outside. St. Liam will now have the inside line heading on the exit. The Williams gets ahead and stays ahead. Is that going to look for danger now between the McLaren boys? Is Christoph going to be in danger from Arndt? And he is. Arndt goes around the outside of him, gets that move done. Can't make a move on St. Liam, but Christoph losing 2 places in a couple of corners. T-Bag is side by side now with Breezy. T-Bag trying to go around the outside in the Ferrari, and Breezy is on the inside line here. Soft versus medium compound tyres. T-Bag holds it around the outside. They're still side by side into the S's, and I think Breezy gets ahead on that occasion and defends his 10th place. Lots of battles happening already as Mike is on the back of this train too. So a train now behind 10th of Breezy all the way down to 17th position as Eke picks up a 3-second time penalty. Christoph, I think Arndt's just made a mistake, and Christoph moves up now into 7th position. Just going to quickly look to the top of the field. NRC Island still on the back of Anthem, just got a little bit more ERS, but isn't using as much. A Storm is now gaining on ERN Ramos, so that'll be interesting to see what happens in the latter stages of that. Nicki Minaj is in the slipstream now of NRC Arndt. Arndt's trying to chase down his teammate. Is Nicky going to put pressure? Arndt cuts across, doesn't go for that move at the minute. T-Bag is side by side once again though with Breezy. T-Bag going for the outside line, then has the inside line, and will have the inside line again into the 3rd corner, and T-Bag moves up into 10th place and clears Mike once and for all, and really needed to do that a couple of laps ago, unfortunately for him, but he's managed to do it now. Let's see how he gets on with the rest of his race. He really needs to pull a gap now to Breezy and maybe get a bit of distance between him and himself. Ramos now in 4/5 tenths behind Skeefy, so Skeefy maybe just had a bit of an incident there because he's now 2.7 seconds behind NRC Island. Island is now within a second of Anthem. They're really closing together here, and Storm is looking feisty on this too. He'll be wanting a piece of this. Not had the best of season, has ERN Storm, but let's hope he can maybe get a good result here today. Touch wood. I hope everybody heard that, so you know I did. But it'll be very interesting to see how this goes as Ramos is trying to get a move done here. St. Liam is the first one to pit. Does he have wing damage? We'll come back and have a look at that. Mike is looking at Breezy here. He's really close. So is Arndt on his teammate. Arndt is going to go for it, but Mike's going to go for it on Breezy. Is he going to go for it? He goes on the inside. He puts the nose there. Doesn't go for the move on that occasion. Was it wing damage then for St. Liam? He's gone for the hard compound tyres very early, so it must be wing damage there for St. Liam, which will be a big shame. Chelsea is in this train on the medium compound tyres, all stuck behind T-Bag currently, but Breezy is the one dropping down. 1.1 seconds it is between T-Bag and Breezy, so 1.1 seconds is very interesting indeed if he can run away on those soft compound tyres. But it'll be interesting to see what laps these guys decide to pit on, what strategies, what variations of strategies we are going to see, as Chelsea may have looked like we've got a better exit, but I think knows that the main straight is the better one to overtake on, and it's a bit silly to maybe try and use a lot of your ERS to go in the short straight just heading towards the stadium section. I don't think Ireland is going to make a move on Anthem. I think he's too far back on that occasion. Skeefy still under a bit of pressure here behind with Ramos and Storm both behind him, so he's just currently got a 3.1 second gap to his rival in second of NRC Ireland, Mike. Yet again, not close enough to make a move on Breezy. Breezy goes a bit deep. They're all in this little train here as they head towards, or should I say through, the chicane. Can he get a good exit? It looks like Chelsea's got a good exit, to be fair, but not good enough to keep up with Mike, and Mike is using a lot of ERS, and I'm looking at Breezy sat there with 75% compared to Mike's pretty much 0 with 14. It's going to be interesting here, because at any point Breezy can put the hammer down and just walk away. Nash in that fight too, so it is the battle for 10th place here in this DRS train behind Breezy up ahead. Oh, look at this. D6W may have got a very, very good exit here. And he's got the DRS, he's got the overtake. He's going to go down the inside of Chelsea into the stadium section. Do they touch? Oh, Chelsea goes a bit deep. Chelsea hangs it down the inside of the hairpin. D6W around the outside, defends well. Now that's going to cause a battle. And there goes Matrice up the inside. The Renault's going to have a look now with Nash up the inside of Chelsea. Great work by the two AlphaTauri boys. Now the Renault of Nash will have DRS and using a bit of overtake now. Now it's damage limitation mode now for Chelsea, as Nash is now going to get her too. 3 cars in a couple of corners as Nicki Minaj and T-Bag are battling. I think Nicki Minaj is an AI car currently, so that's a big shame for Nicki. Great battle in there in the stadium section of Sector 3 there by D6W and Chelsea, but unfortunately Chelsea coming off a lot worse than she would have wanted to. But Matrice sat comfortable behind his teammate at the minute. His teammate has now got a time penalty, but is on the medium compound tyres, so we'll be going longer. As Matrice, in fact, picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple ones. The two McLarens of Christoph and Arndt in the midfield, them two currently battling with each other. Nicki just hasn't been able, well, was further up the grid, should I say, in fact, but unfortunately is left the session due to probably a Codemaster's errors. Christoph is another person who now decides to pit, so the McLaren boys may be working together there slightly. Mike has also come into the pits in the Red Bull. Ramos still sat behind Skeefy, maybe didn't get the best of exits there. As you can see, Skeefy getting away. Is Storm going to have a look? No, I don't think he is, but here comes D6 on Nicki Minaj's ghost car and gets through. If you're sat with Storm now, Storm's currently in 5th on the softs. He's looking okay in the Haas. But we've got Nash, who's right behind Nicki. Nicki's just joined back, but is not in the car yet. So Nicki just dropping places left, right and centre, just being lagged out of the game, which is a big shame. It's a typical Codemasters thing in F1 2020, 2019. Pretty much every Codemasters game, there's always an issue with something. But let's see who's going to blink first up top. Is Anthem going to come in the pits? Is NRC Ireland going to try and undercut if Anthem doesn't? NRC Ireland doesn't come in. Skeefy, does he try and do anything? Skeefy, I think, is. No, doesn't decide to make a move. But Storm does in the other half. So Storm, one of the first of the top 5 to decide to come into the pits. Arndt now takes up into 5th position. It would help if this game would actually give me some timings. You know, that does help a lot of cars now into the pits. T-Bag is in. Nash is also in. Let's have a quick look. I'm trying to find any sort of fight because I've got no timings whatsoever. Does Eke decide to pit? Mike doesn't decide. Mike's on fresh tyres, in fact. Maybe just recently pitted. Nicki unfortunately left the session again, so Nicki clearly having some internet connectivity issues as Eke. Oh, 3 abreast here. Mike, Eke, and T-Bag. Oh, as they head towards turn 1. Mike's into 14th position. Eke defending from T-Bag, who's now on fresh softs. And now this is going to be interesting. Eke will always looking to challenge here with Mike, who's on his 3-lap old mediums. Let's see who's going to win this. Eke doesn't go for it. Mike stays in 14th position for now. D6W in 7th on 9-lap old mediums. He's currently sat behind Breezy. Skeefy and Ramos come in. So does Island. So does Anthem. So very interesting that they've all decided to come in. And there's a car off. And that's Eke Baloba, who is currently off the track and with wing damage there in the S's. And has lost a front right end plate there. That could have been a very interesting safety car if it deployed it there. It would definitely be indeed, as Anthem now exits the pits in 3rd place. And is still technically in net P1 as Nicki Minaj's car sets the fastest lap of a 16.5. Storm now, really look how close Storm has now got to his teammate and has done the undercut, in fact, on ERN Ramos. So that's worked very, very nicely for Storm. He's done that really, really nice there with that undercut. But here comes Ramos down the inside, going to make a move. Oh, Ramos locks up. Storm gives him enough room there, and I think Ramos gave him the respect he deserved. And Storm keeps 8th place currently and is in net P3, I believe. But here's NRC Island now behind Chelsea in the racing point. Doesn't want to be held up too much. Really needs to get after Anthem, who is a couple of places ahead. And Chelsea being Anthem's teammate, I don't think this is going to be such an easy pass. But Island's going to try it down the inside. Chelsea gives space. Chelsea gets run off the track there. And Island moves into 5th place. Indeed, it is a very nice undercut to deal. Indeed, it is. Skeefy right on the back now. Chelsea after Island has decided to clear it. But here comes Skeefy. Is Storm going to maybe try and catch up as much as he possibly can on this? Anthem is making his move on Breezy NRC Island, going down the inside of Darko Wade. And Skeefy makes a move there on Chelsea. Storm going to capitalise. D6W has also lost his position to Anthem. These alternate strategies being overtaken by the people who have already pitted. Looking further down, Ramos currently sat behind Storm. He's currently in 9th position in the Renault. Look how close these three are. Stuck behind Chelsea currently as once again our timing screens just decide to crumble because it's Goldmasters and we don't like anything that they do, or they don't like to give us anything that works. That's a better sentence. But Matriz and Sinclair, the Williams and the Alpha Tauri, and Matriz moves up into 15th place. Having a quick look, Ramos and Storm. Ramos has gone down the inside. Storm hangs it down the inside again. And then Ramos has the inside line. These two going side by side through the stadium section. A very risky place to go racing, but them two managed to do it without too much of an incident. Island now is on the back of Breezy for 3rd place. Breezy still yet to pit. And Breezy is going to make that move. And I think by the looks of it, Storm might not be able to get back on the back of Ramos, but Island still hasn't got the move done against Breezy. Breezy defending as much as he can, maybe trying to back him off into Skeefy a little bit, maybe some friendly orders being given, I'm not 100% sure, but Island moves up into 3rd place, and a 5-second time penalty for speeding the pit lane, and Nicki Minaj retires from this race. And Ramos has been able now to clear Chelsea, something that Storm couldn't do, and Storm is now stuck behind the racing point, which is a big shame now. Look at this fight. Skeefy right on the gearbox of Breezy, maybe looking to try and get a move early as possibly done, but might not have ERS. It's not ERS, sorry, DRS down the main straight, so it's just held on for that now as Storm takes it down the inside and has got that move done on Chelsea, and he now moves up into 8th, but now won't have DRS as we look ahead here to between this train of cars. NRC Island now on the back of D6W. Skeefy is making the move on Breezy. Here comes Ramos on Darko Wade as they're all trying to recuperate their places after the pit stop. Island moves back up into second place. Ramos gets his move done, but D6W is fighting Island. Even though they've not yet pitted, still wants a bit of a scrap there with the championship contender. It's gonna come back for his scrap with overtake enabled. He sends it up the inside and a bit of a lock-up on the inside line. Maybe looks for an under and over, but Island defends well in the right places as Breezy is battling now with Ramos. Ramos going around the outside of the double right-hander. Breezy looking to try and hold the car there, but wasn't able to on that occasion and has to yield for Ramos to move up into P5. Some really nice racing once again we are seeing from Division 2. D6W is now got Ramos in behind him, should I say, ready to try and give a bit of a battle. But Anthem with a 5.4 second lead over NRC Island currently. Ramos will want to get past D6W as soon as possible to maybe try and once again get on the back of Skeefy using overtake. He's not got much overtake left, neither does D6W. Skeefy needs to close the gap now to NRC Island. He's 1.1 seconds away. Here comes Ramos, doesn't make a move. Darko Wade, is he going to make a move with the Haas of ERN Storm behind him? Could there be contact? There's none there. Darko sticks it up the inside. Oh, Darko gets a time penalty for that too. And Darko gets a bit out of shape now. Storm looking to send it down the inside. Sees a gap, sees an opportunity. DRS overtake enabled for Storm. Goes for the double overtake. Breezy makes a bit of contact. Hopefully there's no damage there. And he went for the double overtake. Now trying to send it round the double right-hander. Can Storm stay ahead? Darko Wade is looking to get down the inside of Storm. And I think has done too. And the order remains the same. And before the first corner, brilliant side-by-side battling there from everybody involved. Darko Wade got to send it up the inside of Breezy. Darko gets that move done very nicely indeed and moves up into 6th. Breezy looking to try and get a good exit there possibly to challenge Darko, but we are seeing gaps begin to form up in the top 5. And here comes Darko, here comes Breezy. The medium runners now getting out of the way and leaving the pack to do their thing. Well, we have seen some fantastic battling so far. Christoph now on ERN Storm. He's got the DRS. Is he going to make a lunge? He doesn't decide to make a lunge and waits for a proper, good, easy opportunity for him to do that move. And could that move be coming? Yes, it is. Overtake enabled. He's going to go around the outside here towards turn 4. Storm, who's going to be the last of the late breakers? Christoph holding around the outside. Storm giving enough room, and Storm gets a very nice exit around the outside there into the double right-hander and stays in 6th position. Looking in the mirrors now with those two McLaren boys in his mirrors. Looking now at Mike. Mike right behind T-Bag here. T-Bag going for the soft, I think. There, a lot of penalties once again coming in. I mean, we saw yesterday with Division 1 that every single person in that race in Division 1 got a penalty. So Mexico is definitely one of them who can spice something up. A Storm and D6 as D6 comes into the pits off his 16 lap old mediums. And now Storm has pulled away a little bit there from Christoph. And now Arns might be trying to look to use his DRS, but doesn't have that. Mike is making a move on T-Bag, going down the inside of T-Bag in the Red Bull and moves ahead of the Ferrari. Chelsea and D6 battling coming out with the pits. D6 is going to have Darko Wade and Breezy for company, and I don't think any move is going to be made heading into turn 1. D6W just saving himself there from losing another place. D6W going for the one-stop strategy with the medium hard, which is interesting to see in fact. Not many people like to go for the hards on this track. St. Liam is another person, and is Gasly and Eke Baloba, but we didn't see any hard compound tyres from Division 1 yesterday, which is interesting. Let's have a quick look at Matriz on soft compound tyres right behind Teabag. Now going to go for the DRS, going to go around the outside towards the stadium section and gets that move done, but picks up a 3-second time penalty for his issues. Teabag had a look at sending it, maybe put Matriz under a little bit of pressure there in the AlphaTauri, but may have this done now for the back straight from Teabag. Legends and Neo went for the hard yesterday. Ah, did they? Ah, right, okay. Mate, honestly, I've got the worst memory in the world, trust me. Teabag going down the inside now. We'll have this move done on Matriz and has moved up into 9th place. See, now, Shoof and Keneal, now you're just both ripping me apart for not being, my memory being terrible. Leave me alone. Arndt now is in 7th, still behind, tucked away in his teammate Shadow currently of Christoph. Storm has now pulled a 1.9 second gap, now a 2-second gap to Christoph. So maybe Christoph's tyres maybe just not working as well as he wants to. Matriz still on the back of Teabag, 2 tenths now. May could have a look if he gets a good exit down the inside or around the outside of the stadium once again. Here comes Matriz around the outside. Teabag hangs it in there and hangs it in there nicely. This will mean Matriz will have the inside line into the hairpin. Pushes Teabag wide. Teabag holds his line, but Matriz has the better exit around the outside. And Matriz moves into 9th place, but Teabag comes into the pits now off those soft compound tyres. Here comes Arndt on his teammate of Christoph and moves into 6th place. And gets past Christoph now after being in the shadow for a long time. But is Christoph going to try and fight it here? I don't think so. Doesn't have any DRS to maybe try and make an opportunity. Would just burn through all that ERS, which isn't the best decision for him to do. Breezy currently down in 14th place on 2-lap-old softs, and there's a yellow flag down there. And that is of Eke Blover just on the exit of the stadium section. And that's another damaged wing and another front right end plate. That has been damaged now by Eke Blover. And that's a big shame there on those 6-lap-old hards. Let's have a quick look here. Christoph still hanging in that teammate's DRS. Maybe a bit of work going between the two of them. Eke Blover has retired from the session and from 5.6 seconds clear of NRC Ireland. Skeefy is 2 seconds behind Ireland himself. Big gaps beginning to form. Even the McLaren boys now have that gap with the DRS helping to bring that together. As I think I just saw Nash go a little bit of corner cutting there over the pit lane entrance, but here comes Sinclair on the hard compound tyres, maybe trying to get this move done on Nash. Goes to the outside line. Let's see how this does. A bit of a lock up there from one of the drivers, but let's see how this goes. The medium compound tyres for the red on the hards for the Williams. The Williams gets the DRS again. Let's see who will be here at turn 4. Who's going to get ahead on this occasion? St. Liam's late on the brakes. The Renault try and holds the line. Maybe try and comes back down the inside. The Alfa Romeo will look interested in this now of Darko Wade. Darko Wade's looking to go around the outside of the double right-hander of Nash, but Nash defends well and pushes him out wide. Some really great battling we're seeing here today, ladies and gentlemen, in Division 2. Division 1 was spectacular yesterday, and Division 2 is proving up to be a storm in the midfield. Darko Wade on the back of Nash. He saw that move up ahead from St. Liam, and he maybe wants a piece now of this battle on these fresh soft compound tyres. 3-lap-old softs. He needs to clear Nash so he can try and clear St. Liam too. If he clears both of them, that will give him a nice chance to get that gap moving. Just looking now at Christoph. Christoph still on the back. Matriz now decides to come into the pits, but here comes Darko Wade on Nash. Let's see, got the slipstream, not using much overtake. In fact, he hasn't got much overtake to use. Can he go around the outside? Nash is further up ahead. Oh, Nash goes a bit deep though, and this could compromise his exit here. Can Darko get a decent enough exit? I don't think he has done, and he's now got DRS enabled. Nash has DRS2 and a lot more ERS than Darko Wade. Darko Wade really trying to take the fight here to Nash. The two McLaren boys, yet still within a second of each other, which is nice to see. Similar pace there from the two McLarens, but we are seeing many gaps start to form a little bit, but I think we still have one more pit stop window to go. Let's have a quick look on Darko and Breezy. Trying to maybe try and get back at Darko. Use that ERS as much as possible, but Christoph is looking now to get past Arndt. Is Arndt letting off? I think this is just a straight battle now between these two. Will hopefully be clean between the two teammates, and Christoph moves into 6th. Darko Wade gets that move done on Sinclair, and Nash is also trying to get that move done. Darko Wade goes down the inside of Breezy. Bit of contact there, bit of wheel banging. Darko Wade moves up now. The three abreast on the exit. The Renault of Nash, Darko Wade and Breezy all there trying to battle. Breezy's ahead. Here comes the Renault and Nash backs out and doesn't go for that move. And Breezy, Darko Wade and Nash in 10th and 11th and 12th. Absolutely brilliant racing we're seeing from the lower midfield here today. Darko Wade currently in 11th place, sat behind the Mercedes of... the Mercedes goes wide of Breezy, and that's a big issue. Gets a 3-second time penalty for the troubles there. A bit of an oversteer in the S's has cost Breezy a place, and a 3-second time penalty. So that is going to look very tasty now for Nash. But the second pit stop window is surely going to be with us as Mike comes into the pits for off his medium compound tyres for another set of medium. So he is the first to blink. And by the way, Adam, you know what the two words would be, in the one of them's a swear word, so F, yeah, have that. I hate you. Chelsea currently in 12th in the racing point. Patrice is in T-Bags DRS2, maybe try to get a move done there on the Ferrari. The McLaren boys, once again, still less than a second separate them two. So these two really been working the socks off each other. NRC Arndt of the McLaren. I mean, the gaps up ahead, man, are huge, but NRC Ireland doesn't have a penalty yet. Neither does Skiffy. If Anthem has a huge penalty, we don't like to show the penalties until the end because it changes up everything for us. But I think that was a car of Ramos going into the pit, so he's coming off the medium compound tyres to D6W behind Chelsea now in the AlphaTauri on his 5-lap old hard. So he's trying to take these to the end now. Let's see how he gets on with that, currently down in 13th place. But a great show so far from Anthem, who is currently up with 5.2 seconds, the gap between him and Ireland in second, and a 3.8 second gap between Skiffy and Ireland. But let's just have a quick look here in this little DRS train. Is Chelsea going to make a move on Ramos? Oh, bits of weaving, trying to find space. D6W is going to look around the outside, puts a nose in there. D6W gets a time penalty for that too. Maybe just cutting across the curb a bit too much there. D6W gets a better exit though. Chelsea has DRS deployed it late, and D6W moves into 12th place. But once again, the McLaren boys fluctuating between like 0.2 of a second to a full second, and just staying in between, just carrying each other along. Big points coming in for the McLaren boys today. As Skiffy comes into the pits. Let's hope it's not a double stack there from the Haas boys. A Storm just putting the power down there, maybe getting a bit tail happy there. But will Skiffy go for the soft? Skiffy does go for the soft. So Skiffy is looking to be quick here at the end of this race. Here comes NRC Arndt on his teammate, DRS enabled. Once again, these two just swapping positions as they have been doing. Very clean so far as Sinclair comes off his 18-lap old hards and I imagine will be also going for the soft compound tyres. D6 on the back of Nash, and Chelsea on the back of him on his 7-lap old hards. Simply definitely going for the soft compound tyre there was a smart choice. Now Skeefy has to hit a hammer time. Now he's behind both McLarens here. He really needs to get a move on to maybe see if he can try and close any sort of gap to NRC Island. Anthem is into the pits and locking up there as he went into the pits. So does Island. Island comes into the pits too. I imagine Storm will be the next one to follow suit. D6 now within 3/10 of the Renault of Nash. See if he gets the exit. Oh, he's really in the gearbox now of Nash. DRS and overtake going around the outside of the stadium section into the entrance, and has that move done way before, and moves up a place. Skeefy clears Christoph, who has came into the pits. Storm into the pits also for a fresh set of softs. Anthem and NRC Island also into the pits. Skeefy has closed up that gap, but I don't think by much to be effective unless he can seriously put the hammer down now. Nash, 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, big shame there for Nash. Skeefy needs to clear Arndt as quickly and as possible. As quickly as possible. What am I saying? As quickly as possible. Currently in 4th. Heading into the S's will hopefully and will highly likely want to clear Arndt by the entrance of the stadium section. Let's see if the Haas can do it. It will have so much more grit than the medium compound tyres, and is looking to get this done now. Down the inside. Ooh, it's going to be a squeeze. Arndt does fight it, and Arndt's going to fight down the inside once again. Oh, maybe a slight bit of contact there. The game not giving us a good angle there from the wide point of view. But Skeefy moves up into 3rd and is 3.7 seconds back as there's a yellow flag, and it is a racing point there of Chelsea, who has lost it in the S's, and maybe a bit of front right wing damage. I'm not too sure. Maybe it's definitely an issue on the car. It's a puncture. It's a rear left puncture for Chelsea, and that's a big shame on those 11-lap-old softs. So not a big surprise that that is a puncture there. As Christoph and Mike on 3-lap-old mediums is getting challenged by the fresh softs of Christoph. Gasly picks up a 3-second time penalty too for multiple warnings. The grid is definitely spread it out over the past couple of laps, and we are still got 9 laps to go, so hopefully these soft compound tyres manage to close some gaps. Sink Liam in 12th on those soft compound tyres. Going to look around the outside of the S's, maybe trying to force Seabag a bit deep so we can get a good exit as NRC Island sets the fastest lap of the race with a 15.9. Slowly closing that gap by the looks of it to Anthem, but it is still 4 seconds of with that gap. Sink Liam not looking down the inside of Teabag, heading into the start of the stadium. I can't get my words out today, boys. Of the stadium section. Christoph is on the back of D6W. He is looking to get this move done. DRS enabled into the slipstream with overtake not enabled, which is interesting to see. Christoph going down the inside of D6W on those 10-lap hards, and it should be a fairly easy move for Christoph. Arndt currently ahead of the trees and is looking to get on the back of Mike, who's on the medium compound size. I'm not even going to look at you boys in the chat anymore, you know. Nah. I'm turning that monitor off. Teabag is on the back, or sorry, has just been overtaken by the looks of it by Sink Liam on the fresh soft compound tyres. Mike 6/10 behind Arndt, still trying to maybe keep within that DRS, but Arndt is in the DRS now of D6W on the hard compound tyres, who I think in these later stages is really, really going to be struggling here. Let's see if Arns is able to get D6W. I think it should be a fairly easy move, but it's a big shame about the top 6. Big gaps. Big gaps there in the top 6, but that is Arns getting his move done there on D6W. Those hard compound tyres really struggling as Mike picks up a 3-second time penalty as he's now trying to pursue down D6W. But like we say though, the gaps I was not expecting at the top of the field. Qualifying was a hell of a lot closer, less than a tenth separating that top 3 that we have now. 4.5 the gap from Anthem to Island, and 5.2 from Skeefy to Island, 4.8 from Ramos to Skeefy, 5.9 from Storm to Ramos, and then 9.6 seconds between Christoph and Storm. A safety car, a very late safety car, could shake up this race as Mike's going to send it down the inside of D6W. Goes a little bit deep, forces D6W out wide too, but Mike moves up into 8th place. St. Liam now on his fresh softs is now behind the other AlphaTauri of Matriz, and is going to have this move done before he's even enabled DRS as they scream towards turn 1, and St. Liam moves into 10th place. D6W not looking to try and fight his battle with Mike, and neither I think is Matriz with St. Liam. But these are the closest guys on the grid so far, and there's a lot of gaps being spread across the field. 6 laps to go here in Mexico, and only 2 drivers yet to pick up a penalty. It's only Island and Skeefy who haven't picked up a penalty so far in this race. St. Liam now will be looking to make this move done on D6W. D6W will now be fighting for the last points place now in 10th position against Matriz if Matriz can catch up to him. But I think this should be a done deal, signed and delivered for St. Liam on his fresh soft compound tyres, and I think should be getting Mike too. Can he get the good exit that he needs? He uses overtake. Ooh, nearly loses the rear. That could have been costly, maybe just enabling overtake a bit too early there as he's now in the slipstream, but luckily I think D6W got DRS, and Mike is looking to defend now from D6W. Let's see how this fight's going to go. D6W down the inside, Mike goes deep round the outside. Can the Williams of St. Liam pick up any scraps here? Does he get a better exit on the soft compound tyres? Overtaking DRS enabled once again, and it's the exact same thing here for D6W. D6W slams on the brakes, and St. Liam has to slam on too and locks up his front left there, trying to save it there. But Breezy and T-Bag, these two are side by side. These were battling earlier on. Breezy on fresher compound tyres, T-Bag on 11 lap old mediums, but that isn't going to stop T-Bag from battling them though, and keeps it down the inside and looks to stay ahead as they go through the S's. T-Bag staying in 13th position. Matriz going down the inside of St. Liam. St. Liam, oh, the AlphaTauris make contact with each other of Matriz and D6W, and then St. Liam under some serious pressure here between them two, and I think St. Liam just let Matriz through there. Maybe he feels he was at fault for maybe some of the contacts and lets him through. All could have been a tactical move with DRS, but I think he would have had DRS anyway. But Matriz now looking to close the gap on D6W and move through, but doesn't go for any sort of runs there. But Breezy and T-Bag are side by side, and this should be easy now for Breezy, and he has gone and moved into 13th place on those fresh softs. But here comes St. Liam now on the outside of Matriz. These two are going to go side by side, and he's got that move done on Matriz. Can he look and get a better exit here on D6W? D6W's hard will be very, very tough to drive currently. The hards around this track just don't seem to be nice. I mean, he's currently the only person out there on the hard compound tyres and is under a lot of pressure from his teammate and the Williams behind. And Darker Wade is starting to get interested in this battle too, as Anthem picks up a 3-second time penalty. That could be crucial with 3 laps to go. Could be crucial if he has more than that in penalties. But NRC Arns now in the McLaren. These two, both McLarens have been side by side for most of this race. He's within a second now. So that'll be interesting to see which McLaren will be staying ahead. But here comes St. Liam. He's in the DRS now of D6W. These lot don't have any ERS left to play with. But let's see what the Williams is going to choose. He goes to the outside line of turn 1, and he gets that move spot on. The hard compound tyres just are falling away now, and Matrice of the teammate of D6W is going to be looking to get this move done as soon as possible on the medium compound tyres. I mean, 11 lap old mediums compared to D6W's 15 lap old hards. But let's see what Nash is going to do down the inside of T-Bag. Is he able to get this move done? And it looks like he does on his fresher soft compound tyres. Matrice also just still looking to try and get a move done possibly, or where possible on his teammate. Arndt will be looking to probably get a move done down the main straight as Christoph picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Matrice once again getting very close to the gearbox of his teammate, nearly losing it there as he accelerates on the curb. And D6W could possibly be holding Matrice up, but this is the fight for the last couple of points, and maybe some strategy options with the one stop just didn't go maybe as he wanted it to. Is Arndt going to get a move done on Christoph? I don't think so on that occasion, unless Christoph gets a poor exit. But here comes Darker Wade. He's looking once again to get involved, and he's on fresher softs too. Oh, a lot of weaving about between Darker Wade. They're all looking for space. D6W crawling through the chicane, and whoever gets a better exit, I think, probably wins on this occasion. St. Liam's also now on the back of Mike, but no moves are being sent at the moment. D6W there picking up a 3-second time penalty. But once again, and still, NRC Ireland and Skeefy are still the only 2 people not to pick up a time penalty as of yet in this race. In Div 1 we saw everybody pick up a time penalty, which was unfortunate. Here comes Matrice around the outside of his teammate at D6W. He's going to challenge. D6W tries to run it deep. Matrice holds the inside line into the hairpin. D6W tries to go as wide as possible, and there we go. Matrice moves up into 10th place, and D6W now loses on those hard compound tyres. And I don't think D6W Matrice doesn't have DRS. This is going to be interesting. St. Liam's made his move on Mike, but these lot are all going to start battling here. Here comes D6W. He's going to be the lead of this pack still. And Darko Wade trying to send it down the inside for the last remaining points. That was very close. The soft compound tyre is giving him a lot more grip than he needs. Apparently, Ireland only has 1 warning, which is very interesting indeed. And obviously, Arndt may be waiting. We are now on the final lap. In fact, Anthem has now started it for us. Arndt may be waiting for the final lap to get this move done on Christoph. Mike might try and challenge back on St. Liam, especially if he will have DRS, but St. Liam has a bit more ERS as Breezy picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Darker Wade should be looking to get this move done also down the main straight. But let's have a quick look at NRC Arndt. He is the first one who has a challenge here at his teammate. He has a lot more ERS here, so this should be cream and custard for him, and he should get this move done. Goes down the inside of his teammate and moves up into 6th place. Mike on St. Liam, can he try to make a comeback? I don't think he can on this occasion. Darker Wade needs to give it absolutely everything if he's going to make a move. A D6, and he looks up, hits D6W and spins around into the barriers And that's Darko Way's chances of points today ruined as he just went too deep into the corner. Disqualified from the session for going the wrong way. So he won't even finish the race. That is a big, big shame as Anthem takes P1. Ireland takes P1 on penalties. Skeefy comes across the line to take P2 by under 0.2 of a second to Anthem. Here comes Ramos across the line in 4th. Storm will keep in 5th. Arndt and Christoph, the two McLaren boys of 6th and 7th, will now come across the line. 2/10 separating Skeefy and Anthem. Ireland increases his lead on Skeefy so far in this race. Arndt comes across the line. Christoph comes across the line for 6th and 7th. St. Liam and Mike, these two will come across the line in 8th and 9th. 8th goes to Mike as St. Liam drops on penalties. D6 and Matrice, the two AlphaTauris, come across the line. D6 getting the last points of the session. And what a race that was from Division 2. Fantastic driving out there today. Absolutely fantastic driving. Couple of gaps at the end of the race, but there was definitely some very, very good overtakes there today. What a race indeed. Well raced to them all. What a race it was. NRC Ireland once again on the top step of the podium. And Skeefy still trying to keep the title hunt alive in 2nd, but really needs a race win in Brazil or Abu Dhabi to get ahead. Anthem also driving a fantastic race, was 1st for most of it, but just losing out on penalties to NRC Ireland. Only NRC Ireland and Skeefy were the only ones not to get penalties today, which is insane. Look at that too. Them two not getting penalties indeed. And fastest lap going to NRC Ireland with a 59. So some beautiful, beautiful racing out there today, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely brilliant. I think we're going to have to talk about my driver of the day. And I think it's gonna have to be NRC Ireland. Penalty free to the race win. He may have been 5 seconds behind Anthem on track, but Anthem just picking up too many penalties. How many did he pick up altogether? He's picking up 4 penalties, costing him 12 seconds. So very, very big there for Ireland, keeping that penalty free. And what a race it was. Ireland extends his championship lead over the Hearts of Skeefy. And that is going to wrap up European Race Night Division 2 here in Mexico. Thank you very much to everybody tuning in here today. Be back for Division 3 tomorrow at the same time of 7:30 for qualifying and lights out around 8 PM UK time. So make sure you do all tune in for that. Division 1 will be back next Sunday for Brazil, and we can get the Brazilian Grand Prix underway. I've been Dame Zero. Thank you very much for all tuning in, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye.